So Ladu today's daily lead code problem 149 max points in a line hard level problem, but don't think so. But let's start. I've been given an array of points, basically xi comma vi. Xi comma yi is the coordinate basically representing a point, and you have been given a points array, so you have multiple points. What you want to tell is simple maximum number of points that lie in a same straight line. And like in this case, all the three numbers are lying in the same straight line. All the three points lies in the same straight line. So the answer for three is three. Now in this case you have basically 6 points over here, but I think this line contains, if I try to join this point with this point and with this point, this line contains three consecutive points, but there are, yeah, there are four collinear points in this way. So yeah, that's why four is the answer and three is not. So this you can figure out simply by seeing, that you should have you should have basically, something like slope. So for these two elements there is some, yeah, 2 points form a line and line has some slope. So for example, if these 2 points forming a line having some slope x is same as this point and this point forming a line, the slope will also be x, and this point will also be, having a slope of x. So that's why three from this point you get three other points which are having the same value of slope if connected to this point. So that's what the answer for is this four, because one point is just this by itself, which we are not taking into consideration, right? And we are calculating all the other points with respect to this. Similarly with the second point, you can choose this one and this one. These 3 points will have same slope value if you connect a line, like not just same, but hmm, same slope value. I don't think so. The same slope value, because this is on just other side. So if this is slope 0 degree, this would be 180 minus. Yeah, this would be negative slope, something like this. You are going in this direction. So these 2 points having the same slope form with respect to this point, right? This point and this point, and this point is basically having a value same, but the direction is reversed. So that's why negative. So that's why we are getting answer for this to be maximum and for this also to be maximum. And this will give me a, this will give me a, slope of, let's say, not slope basically. The answer for this would be, 2 points are having the similar kind of a slope from this point with respect to this point, so answer for this is 3. So that's what you need to do. You need to calculate every slope and let's check it. So let's do this. Pretty simple code, as you can see. Let me just write it again. First of all, you are having, you are iterating on. Now one thing basically, for calculating this, I told you that for I'm taking every other point with respect to this point, and these 3 points come out as, like, collinear. So that is the thing, but these we have to check the other points also. So basically for every point we are checking every other point. So that is n square time complexity, and you can obviously do that 300. So that's why I said, like, constraints are pretty less than why it's like, yeah, rated hard. So and I equal to 0, I less than n, and I plus plus, and you will check all the other points. How you can check all the other points? You can go from 0 to I, or you can go from I plus 1 to n, no matter, but you will get, basically this is the way of generating two unique points given n points, right? So these 2 points, now I need to check the slope value for this. Now first of all, I am considering this point I point, and I am checking every point with respect to this I point. So right, so every other point with respect to this I point, right? Now what you need to do, you need to calculate slope of every other point with respect to this, yeah, and you will check how many values of slopes are equal. So for that matter, I'll taking a map, to just check the frequency of slope. uh Slope, you can find, you should find it as float, otherwise there is, yeah, 2.2 slopes can be similar as well. So that's why you should take this float, right? Yeah, so that integer, I think, because integer float is, let's say, 2 by 3, that is also integer value is 0, and 1 by 3 integer value is 0, but their float value is different, right? So that's why I'm taking float. I think it is pretty obvious, but let's calculate the slope. This is the main point. Int, not int, basically float. S is equal to, how we calculate slope. Slope is not nothing, something new to find, because you have done in 10th or 12th, something like y2 minus y1, or upon may x2 minus x1, right? This is the way to find the slope. That's what we are going to do. Y2 is nothing but point of this current point, first I one, which means their y coordinates. This one is basically storing their y coordinate, and now you have to divide this by something like x coordinate. So p of j of 0 minus p of j, or not, I of 0. Now the thing which you have to be sure for this, how you're getting this. So into, let's say, or you can do this float, right? You can do this as float, I think, but my way of doing it is just multiplying this with 1.0, right? And maybe you can take another for this, right, denominator. And that's about it. You are getting numerator, you are getting denominator. It will surely be in float values. And now the one thing which you will miss is basically when x2 and x1 becomes equal to same, right? When x2 minus x1 becomes 0, this will give some infinite value. So just take handle for that. 0 is equal to p of j of 0. X coordinates are same. If this is true, then my slope value would be something which is, let's say a big value you can take for slope, right? Because 10 ki power 4 to 10 ki power 4, I think slope value should not go beyond, the difference cannot be on 10 ki power 4, and this value will always be positive, negative, something like that. So it will be, you can take 10 ki power 4 plus 1, something like that. So 10 ki power 4 plus 1, this is not gonna be, this is infinite for me, this is infinite slope for me, and that's what I'm doing over here. Hmm. Uh, yeah, now is it fine? Now, after getting the slope, I'll say, okay, this is a particular slope I'm getting. So just increase its frequency and check which is the maximum slope you are getting. Max is equal to maximum of current slope which you are getting. And that's what you will return at the end. Okay, I have not created a max variable. I'll just create it, and you'll return the max variable, because there would be one point among all these points, right? There would be one such point among all these points. When I'll run this bigger outer loop for this, it will check all the other points, and among all the other points, there would be, maximum number of points having the same slope. So one, two, three, three persons having same slope, right? If there are only just one number, I think that's not possible, right? If that is possible, then for zero, there would be no other thing. So answer would be coming out as mx equal to, I'm initializing as zero. Mx would come out as zero. Basically, there is no point which is number of points that are on the same straight line. Yeah, because okay, they are saying that okay, I can be equal to only 1 point as well. So I'll say okay, if you are just one, okay, what is the error? N is not declared as always. N is equal to p dot size. Now let's do this point as p. What I'm saying, like, for just for even if there are two numbers, you will handle it perfectly, like first number, second number, whether the slope is same or not. Also mx plus 1, yeah, you need to do, right? Hmm. Y plus 1, because for this person, for this point, sorry, for this point, you will check all the other points. Among that 3 points, you will say, okay, these are basically having the same slope. So mx is equal to 3 at that moment, m of s is equal to 3, and maximum is currently 3, but your answer is 4. Basically, 4 points are lying in the same straight line. So what I'm saying, if there is only 1 point, the answer is not 0, it is 1, right? So that is also handling by this mx plus 1, because it's not going to for loop then. Yeah, let's try to sum this up. And that's all, I think. Pretty good efficiency. And pretty simple code, right? You just need to check every other point with respect to a particular point, storing the same map slope values, and checking the frequency of the maximum slope. But the only thing I think which should be, which can make it hard problem is like this. If you don't handle for this, when the x values are same, your slope is infinity. How you're going to show that? You're going to show that by the range plus 1, right? 10 to the power 4 plus 1. Otherwise, it's just, calculating the slope, incrementing your max, and returning your answer. Okay, guys, that's about it. Bye.